Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of the Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn. I have here an exclusive video that Vinnie Vincent allowed me to film during his Christmas party held in Nashville 2019. During this Q&A, Vinnie took questions from the audience on topics that included Treasure, Kiss, the Vinnie Vincent invasion, and so much more. I really think you're going to enjoy this interview. Also, Vinnie spent the first couple of minutes introducing some of the fans that were in the audience, which I think was a cool experience for them. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy this. And also, please take a moment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow my Facebook page, The Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. Now, without further ado, let's get to the Q&A.
Thank you so much. So, my prayers were with you, and I know it hasn't been the toughest thing in the world, but you look absolutely incredible, Are you happy now?
Yes, very, and I'm feeling better than I have in years. I was sick for a long time that I didn't even know it.
You're talking to this. Can somebody get that over? I don't know. Maybe we can't. I don't think so. You want to tell me and everything about it, because it'd be really, really good. Relief. These rock and roll musicians, man. Oh, jeez, they just loud playing. Guitar players too loud. Amps. Is that the most beautiful guitar you ever saw in your life? I have so many people to introduce here. We're gonna start with Roger because he's Mr. Miracle Man.
Hell yeah.
I love you, my friend. This was like the biggest treat in the world for me that you're here.
For me.
Yeah.
Believe me, for me.
And this guy is like, he's like the best. I saw him like 2 years ago. We met for the first time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And he says, I'm a really big fan, been there forever. And we just got to know each other. Roger does Vinnie Vincent Legion Facebook page. That's Roger. My very good friend. And, it was just like the miracle of life happened to you again. And I remember the birthday bash you were here.
And that was literally a week before my surgery.
A week before you were able to get here.
Yeah.
So.
I actually postponed my surgery so I could come see Vinnie.
Who could be more honored than that? I mean, that's like, wow, So I just wanted everybody to wish you all the love in the world, and to just use you as inspiration for this journey that we're on. And you're amazing. You're just amazing. And you made my year. You made a lot.
I made mine too.
Forget year. You made like faith really possible. To believe in something, to believe that God is, still has some people that goes, yeah, good.
He wasn't done with me.
Yeah, no. I love you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop before I start crying. So.
Thank you.
Susie, you want to take a bow too? This is, whenever you have a wife or a girlfriend or a lover or whatever that stands by you forever through everything, you got to take a bow. Right? Yes, Susie. I don't know. What do you want to do? Oh, wait. Before we, this beautiful, absolutely drop dead Les Paul is this doesn't, it's not born this way, you know. I mean, this doesn't just appear out of nowhere, you know. This is a work of art, and I have to, can you come up here for a second? Please come up here. This is Jill Winslow from Gibson Guitars. She is the master craftsman at Gibson Guitars. This is her, well, it's my baby, but it's my vision, but, you know, she is the artist. You know, this is the Leonardo, you know, behind this guitar. This is Gino Da Vinci over here. So you know, my day ain't complete unless, you know how brilliant how happy I am, and who did this amazing work. She's gonna jam with me tomorrow. She's gonna play bass tomorrow. She says maybe, but I love this. I'm gonna get home and stare at it. Yeah. I'm gonna play. Can I play tomorrow? Okay. I jam with you. I'll play. All right. I love it. Oh God. Oh, I love you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Talk about being, you know, to have somebody this brilliant, you know, do this for me. I mean, boy, you know, this is where I start to think, wow, you know, I'm like the luckiest person in the world to have something like this happen. And look, I got somebody this brilliant, this talented do this for me, you know, and she loves me so much, right?
Right.
I love you too. But Steve had a real interesting question. We were driving. What?
I'm gonna let Ron ask that more.
Oh,
Unless you want.
no, Mike, you have a bunch of questions, right?
Yeah.
But we can, if this is a podcast for tomorrow, we could still ask it for tomorrow. But because I thought this was an interesting question, and sometimes nothing's that important to me because you just do them, and you know that it happened and that's it. But you know, you asked me about Young Blood, Young Fire, right?
That one, okay, yeah.
And what did you say? How did that come about? What did you say to me?
Oh God, we were talking about movies and stuff. I told you I love that song, and I thought you know, it's always sounded to me when I heard it belonged in the movie. When I heard it.
Right, yeah. And then I said, well, it was supposed to be in a movie.
Yeah.
So
Then we figured out which one.
are you guys familiar with that song? Young Blood, Young Fire? In 1984, there was a movie producer. He called me up and he said, Vinnie, can you come down? There's a movie with Emilio Estevez, and the movie's finished, but we don't have a theme for the movie. So can you write something? So I said, okay, sure. You know, I was living in LA then, and I went down, saw the movie, and I said, oh, I know this is a song. I know exactly what this song should be. So I went home and I wrote Young Blood, Young Fire. So I must have finished it within about 2 or 3 days, and I sent it to him. He goes, oh, I love this. This is perfect for the movie. Oh, I love it. I said, okay, great. So I said, what's the name of the movie? He said, That Was Then, This Is Now. It's an obscure movie because I said, I couldn't remember the name of it. So we're in the car driving down here, and I looked it up, and I said, oh, that's the movie. So it actually did come out, but they didn't use the song in the movie. And I said, you know, some of these producers, they miss things that are so obvious. But if you ever saw the movie, which I guess maybe nobody saw it, it's one of those things that just faded away. But anyway, that was that. So it was written for a movie, but they just didn't use it. But okay.
So Vinnie, obviously you're known for being in KISS and the Vinnie Vincent Invasion, but I want to know what it was like working in your earlier years with Felix Cavaliere and Dan Hartman and folks like that.
Good question. Good question. Which one? Which question you want? Yeah, is first.
Well, I mean, just what your overall experience working when you were with Treasure and then the stuff you did.
I'll tell you what. I spoke to Felix Thanksgiving, and I said, "Hey, come on down to Christmas party." I said, "Let's go tear it up," you know. So he said, "When? I'll be there. When is it?" I said, "December 14th and 15th." He says, "I'm going to be in California, so I can't do it." I said, "Well, let's do a Treasure reunion show in March." He said, "Sounds good. You just tell me the dates." So that's the next one we're working on. But Felix Cavaliere was, I'm not sure how old everybody is. Old everyone is here, but you know, Felix was like the star, the five, you know, of the five biggest, my opinion, five biggest songwriter stars, records, charts, you know, top of the charts for many years in the 60s. And the band that he was famous for was the Young Rascals. And they hit really big in 1965. I was like 13. And, you know, it's just electric, you know, electrifying. But it had hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. So in the area that I was from, which is Connecticut, all the bands, you know, all those young bands, that was a party band. That was a band that, you know, local bands were imitating, was the Young Rascals. And he played the Hammond organ, the B3, and it was just he had an amazing voice. He has actually one of those voices where he still sounds the same today that he sounded then. So he was one of my top, you know, people that I had idolized since I was a young kid. So when I had met him, I was called, you know, trying, you know, my best to you know, get known. So Connecticut Recording Studio had the owner of the studio, and it was 1975. I'll always remember this. Was one of my best memories. He says, "Hey, Vinnie, can you come down? Felix Cavaliere is here, and they need a guitar player for a track." And I just freaked out. I said, "Oh shit, this is too big for me," because he was my, you know, he was like, the Beatles are here, and Felix Cavaliere is right next to it, you know. So for me, that was giant, just absolutely giant. So I went down there, and we actually, you know, he's a really great guy. He's a very, you know, he loves musicians, loves guitar players, and he saw something in me, and you know, in my playing, and then we became very fast friends, you know. And but it was hard for me to be a friend with him, because in my mind he was always, you know, someone I idolized. So it's really hard to go from, you know, your idol to a friend. But we were friends for many years, and then he wanted to put this band together, and which was Treasure. So I learned so much from him, and he was amazing, monster talent. So hopefully this will be the first time we get, well, it will be. If he's able to make it, we're going to have a Treasure reunion show in March, which will be the first time we play together, you know, since then. But, you know, I've changed as a guitarist. I've changed, you know, and so when we're on this stage, it's going to be like a whole nother, you know, way up there. But I can't wait to do this show. I got to tell you, really funny. I think it's funny. I never told him this because I was always too embarrassed. But I was 14 years old. It was 1967, and the Rascals were at the peak of their career, and hit after hit after hit after hit. And then I thought, man, I want to be this band. I want to be every one of them. I don't want to just be somebody. I want to be the band. So I'm 14 years old. I got this local group called The Younger Generation, and we tried to copy them. I mean, we loved them so much. We were just stupid kids. So we just, oh, we love them, we love them. So somebody called and said, I forgot who they would talk to, and they said, we want the younger generation to open up for the Young Rascals at Theater in the Round in Bridgeport, Connecticut, summertime 1967. I said, oh wow, oh my God, I'm going to play with the Young Rascals. So we did. We opened up for the Young Rascals, and we played a whole set of Young Rascals songs. And I dressed, because they used to dress in these knickers and, you know, little ties and these certain little, they were like little schoolboy outfits. And here I am dressing like them, and we're playing all their songs. And then they come out and they play all their songs. It was like the stupidest thing, and it was like so embarrassing. So to this day, I never told them about that. But I have a picture of it to prove it. So the picture is of me holding the Groovin' album. You know, that was their big hit in '67. So they were like right on top of the charts, and I'm going in their cabin or their dressing room, because it was like a motorhome at the show. So I'm going in, I got my sunglasses on and my Young Rascals hat, my long hair, and I got my knickers on with tie, and I got my I got my Groovin' album. Because can I get your autograph? Yeah, kid, come on in here. So I went. Eddie Brigatti, who was one of the members, says, "Hey, Felix, get a load of this kid." But I never told him this because I'm still too embarrassed to tell that story. He's gonna eventually hear it. So anyway, you had to be there. You actually had to see the picture of me looking like that, so you actually could understand that. But oh, and you said Dan Hartman.
Dan Hartman.
Oh, jeez, man, this guy was a monster talent. Oh boy, I learned everything about recording from him. Wow, we did this song together called. Well, actually, how it started with Danny was that he wanted to put a rock band together, and so he got a few people, together to do a rock band. So while we were learning these rock songs like Free Ride, and because he was doing a lot of rock songs from Edgar Winter, and he says, I got a disco thing I was doing, and it's starting to take off, and I can't do this rock stuff anymore. Do you want to be a backup band? We're just going to go travel around the world, and we don't have to play live. It's all TV shows, He said, are you willing to do that? Just lip sync with me? I said, fuck yeah. So I said, yeah, I'm there, man. I'm there. So he said, it only pays $150 a week. I said, it's more than I'm making now, So I said, oh, that's great. So he said, I have to finish my album here for that song, Instant Replay. And I wanted to rock, I wanted to play, but I didn't appreciate disco then like I do now, because it was the 70s, so, but now I appreciate it because it's like, hey, it wasn't such a bad time. So the record's taking off, and he had to finish the album. So what I learned from him was how to make a record. He was a giant talent. So he says, there's a song I wrote called Time and Space. And he said, I want you to play lead guitar on that song. It's a really beautiful song. I want you to play lead guitar, and I want you to sing the background vocals with me. And so he just kept layering. We did one track of him and I singing one pass, in unison. And he would record him and I going, 10 tracks of him and I, two voices doing one note. And then there would be counterparts. And whatever the notes were in the chord. But 10 passes, 10. So there were 20 voices doing that, and he would just overdub and overdub and overdub and overdub. So by the time it was done, it was just this huge monster chorus of him and I. So he taught me all of that, and just how to make a record. And then I took all of that, and he was really he was a musical giant to me. He was also a really, really, really nice guy. It was my birthday. This was something else I will take with me forever. You know, I just always feel like never good enough, you know, and so, you know, it's like, well, you know, and, you know, he would always, you know, Dan always had this, like, aloofness, you know, where people that are aloof, you know, I'm not like that, you know, I'm just, you know who I am, you know, by my personality. I mean, but some people are aloof and you really never know, and they kind of give you this, you know, I'm better than you think, you know, so it always made me think, well, I'm better than you. I thought, okay, whatever, you know, but that's cool, I like you, you know, you're a great guy and an amazing musician, and I'm lucky I'm being here, you know. So he was, you know, here I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm the ugly duckling in the crowd here, so, okay, well, that's that. So he surprises me on my birthday, and he throws this massive birthday party for me at Central Park in New York City. Massive. There was like so many people, and he had this giant birthday right in the park, in Central Park in New York City. And happy birthday to you. I was like, wow, I mean, he really brought me to tears. So, you know, it's just that kind of person, you know, he's a real beautiful person on the inside, and, you know, he surprised me and blah, 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 blah. But I have some really fond memories, and as a musician, I learned so much, so much. And from Dan, I ended up playing with Edgar Winter's group a year later. So everything connected in a way, you know.
One more if I may.
Yes. Hey, Alistair.
What age were you when you started playing Flying Beats? Because I just got my first.
When I started playing what?
Flying
Flying
V.
V.
I'm sorry?
Flying V's.
Flying V's. Ah. How old was I? Oh, good question. I never played a Flying V until I joined KISS. And because I was playing this all my life. And then I switched to a Stratocaster at some point. God, it's just, oh my God. I can't even look at it. It's so beautiful, I can't look at it. Oh, Jesus, man. Oh, God.
It's like the sun.
Oh.
That's why it's called a sunburst.
You outdid it.
It is.
I think you outdid it. You outdid yourself, or this is like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh, shit. I am in love. I don't fall in love with people anymore. I fall in love with guitars.
Good call.
It's much safer. Yeah. Actually, it's not safer because my accountant was here and he goes, now I know what you spend all your money on. So, let me finish this answer for you, because this is a good answer. So, I joined KISS and I said, you know, I need something cool to play on stage, because, you know, it's like a new thing, that's a new time. I said, you know, I don't want to just play Stratocaster or a Les Paul. So I called. Here's what happened. I met Eddie Van Halen at a recording studio, somewhere in the same time that I joined KISS, maybe a year and a half before I joined KISS, and there was a guy who owned a recording studio in Pasadena, California. So he calls me up and he said, Vinnie, would you mind bringing your Sunburst Les Paul down? Because I had a 59, a real 59. And he says, there's a guy named coming in, there's a local guy named Eddie Van Halen. He wants to know if you could bring your Les Paul down so we can try it. I said, sure, yeah, no problem, you know. And I remember they were a local band, just you know, Van Halen were starting to play clubs and everything. And I said, yeah, absolutely, sure, of course. So he says, can you bring your 65 Fender Strat down? I said, sure. He says, you got a Rick and Backer 12? I said, yes, can you bring that? I said, no problem. So So I'm driving my beater, driving it down there, and so I bring my guitars in the studio, and so Eddie and Alex are playing in the studio, and they're all set up, and so I walk in and I went, holy shit, wow, this is, I'm gonna go home and practice. Man, this is like what I want to really do, So Eddie was brilliant. I remember he was just brilliant, and they were just jamming, him and Alex in the studio. So he says, hey Vinny, nice to meet you. Hey, can you bring your guitar in? I said, sure. So come brings the guitar in, and he had a real hot rodded setup, Eddie's amps were all hot rodded, and he had this Telecaster that was a Strat body. It was basically a Charvel guitar, but it was just a new version of a Fender Stratocaster. So, but it was Charvel. It was a one pickup guitar, and it just felt beautifully. So it sounded great. He said, so can I plug your, I said, yeah. So he plugs in my Les Paul, and it sounded awful. It sounded terrible. So he says, I said, can I play your guitar through your amp? He said, sure. So I'm playing this guitar, and I go, wow, why does it sound so great? He said, well, I do this to my amp, and the guitar feels great, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so I'm moving forward, I never had 5 cents in my pocket, but I said, I want that guitar. So I saved enough money up to buy the neck. I bought it in pieces. I bought the pickup, I bought the bridge, the whammy bar, and I bought the body. And it took me 6 months to buy all these parts. It was only like $300. So I put everything together, and I had my Eddie Strat, and I loved it. I used it on, I ended up selling it, I don't know, about 5 years ago, but I had it all those years, and I used to recorded the Creatures album on this guitar. And so I had it with me for a long time. Anyway, so I played that guitar, and then for a long time, then I joined KISS, and I said, who is the guy that makes these guitars that Eddie was playing? He says his name is Grover Jackson. So I called Grover on the phone, and I said, my name is Vinnie, and I just joined KISS. I said, can you make me something really cool looking for, I said, I want to play something really cool looking. So he said, come on down to the shop. So he says, I have these guitars I made for Randy Rhoads, which is these, He says, but Randy just died, and you like this? So I said, he said, we never got them into production. And I said, oh God, these are great. Yeah, I love this. Wow. So he says, here's the prototype. So he gave me I still have the prototype. So he gave it to me, and he says, take it to the band, see if they like it. So I remember saying, show Gene first. Says, do you like this? He says, very nice. I said, should I play it? I think it looks good. Looks good on you. Okay, so I said, I remember I said, Paul, I asked him if he liked it. He said, yeah, it feels good. Yeah, okay, yeah, tell him yes. So I said, okay, everybody loves it, and that's where I played Flying V for the first time. So that's my story. But that was 1981, and I was 1982, so I just turned 30 years old. That was it. There's your answer. Long answer, but there's your answer.
Alistair just got his first Flying V.
Whoa! Really? What? Wow! Whoa! Lucky boy.
It's like black on the edges, and it just is like really thick, probably like this thick of blackness, and then the center is all like dark blue, and it just looks so cool.
Wow.
Better, my mom got me a guitar strap way before I even had that, like last year, the year before Guess what? It's a Kiss one.
Whoa, what's the brand you bought him?
It was actually my boss, Eddie Carlino, sent it to him, and it is Randy Rhoads' Minion.
Wait. Does he make guitars?
Yes.
You work for him?
I do.
No way.
I do.
You said Carlina. I said this. Wait a minute. This guy makes guitar.
Yeah.
You actually work for him?
I do. And
Yeah.
he sent it to Alistair for his birthday.
Whoa.
He
What?
puts his instruments and their facts up on Facebook. So
Yeah,
people wanna
Is
buy
a
it.
Minion a Randy Rhoads
It's a Minion, yes.
What a lucky little guy you are. Whoa.
And I even made my own song note. It has no lyrics, but it does have the guitars.
Hey, you know what? That's how it starts.
Exactly.
He's gonna be 15 pretty soon, like 2 blinks of an eye. He's gonna
So
be,
fast.
then he'll be 20, and then he'll be going to see his band, and
And
that's how
I'm
my mom
so
was.
old.
My mom was the same way. So you got the right mom
I
here.
just play it and it's like.
This is a star in the making, my friend. You got. I see it.
I originally
You got
made
that.
the song as a jazz note. My dad got me a different guitar way before that last Christmas.
Whoa, this guy's got talent already. I'm seeing it. I'm starting to feel it. Well, good for you. Wow, lucky guy. Woo! Somebody sent you that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, nice. Wow. Mike, what was that? Dave. I'm sorry, Dave.
So some people here might know what the question is already, but back when you first were touring with Kiss, things changed in the music, and one of the most notable things from the older songs was Black Diamond. The ending of the song was
Bex Bolero. Right?
that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a good ending.
Yeah.
We had a good ending for that. So. These shows are like more fun for me than anything because it always sounds great in here. It's small, and it's where all bands come to rehearse, and everybody feels good here. It's comfortable, right? And it's always great. We got food, and we've reached capacity here, believe it or not. So they don't let many people in, and it just feels great here, So so I figure, hey, I'm going to call all my friends, all my musicians I know, let's come on down and do these reunion shows, Let's see, what else? Oh, does anybody have any more questions? Yes, Ursula.
Yes, thank you so much for the food. It's delicious. I don't have a guitar question, but is that how you eat at home, or can you share with us what you like to eat at home?
What I eat at home is, believe it or not, my dinner last night was a glass of milk and 4 tangerines. That was my dinner. That was my dinner the night before that. And I had like 2 eggs for breakfast. And we've been pumping, burning this candle all week. This didn't just appear here. This is the work of these 2 incredible, wonderful people, Stacy and Peggy, did this work. Stacy Tucker and Peggy Tucker, and man, I'm telling you, before this Stacy took over this, I said, well, Steve, we'll have to pick up the food on Saturday, and I'm thinking, what do you do? Because the last on the birthday bash, I'm making the food myself at home, And I was preparing the food. So I remember it was like 5:30 Saturday morning, and I don't have anybody helping me, and I don't really trust too many people. So I said, fuck it, I'll make the food myself. I bought everything up, and I wanted it to be nice. So I knew I knew what I wanted, and it's 5 a.m, and I'm preparing all these vegetables, and I'm thinking, well, I gotta load the car up in about 4 hours and go meet Steve. We're gonna go down. And so I got a little voice over here saying, "You're never gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna fuck this all up. People are gonna be pissed off at you." And I got this voice going, "Don't listen to them. You're gonna be fine. Just close your eyes and it's all gonna work out just fine." So, no it ain't. No it isn't. You're not gonna make it. Look, it's already 5:30 and you can't even keep your eyes open and you got your... So I said, "All right, you're out of here. I'm gonna do this." Put my guitar in the car. I got all the food in there. By the time I got the car loaded with all that food, I met him at the hotel. It's now 1 o'clock. I said, "What time is everybody coming?" He said, "I don't know, maybe about 3 o'clock. And okay, we'll make it." By the time we got here, it was like 5 o'clock, 4:30, right? And I said, "Just don't say anything. We'll just put everything, we'll set it up, I'll take care of the food." Anyways, I thought it was going to be like that again. No way. So, well, everything you see here was the love. This was a product of love. This was a labor of love from these incredible people. Stacy and Peggy, I love you. Thank you so much. You are absolutely, you are in my heart forever for this. You know, I'm so honored. You're so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Neil. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd love to ask you, you know, you wrote a lot of great songs with Kiss, particularly with Gene. Can you share kind of what the songwriting process is when the two of you collaborated together?
Total magic. Oh, one, like, I had the best, in my opinion, we had absolute perfect harmonious chemistry that was I've never had with anybody else. Now, I know as a bass player, Gene was very electrifying for me because all I have to do is hear that sound, hear him play. I mean, he wasn't like a, you know, a proficient, you know, he wasn't virtuoso on the bass, but everything he played was like a growl. So, and his tone was unbelievable. So, whenever he would play bass, I mean, it was like, you know, okay, now I'm plugged in my AC outlet. You know, I'm electrified. So, it was a perfect chemistry for writing together. It was, I would take ideas, I would take song titles, I would take a verse of this or that, or he'd take something, and it was pretty quick, you know. If you have a song in mind, I could be more specific, but it was the same with Paul. We had instant chemistry, complete, perfect harmony as far as chemistry went. So, you know.
So did you like start from scratch, or did somebody come in with like a track, like they recorded a rough mix and you took it from there?
Always started from scratch. Always started from scratch. Gene and I, we were, Gene said, I got this thing. Yeah, that's great. So that's kind of how things start, you know. They almost happen just like, bleh, you know, like it's just, like it's already happened, but it's here. You know you're going to say that, but you see it, and you know it's there, but you just have to wait for it to come out of your mouth. You know, I mean, it's already done, but you have to think it, and it's done. I mean, it's kind of like an obscure way to put this, but it's like all these songs are like they're already in you, and it's just like all you have to do is just say what you're thinking, and it's there. You know. So with a little, you know, refinement, they happen pretty quick. Paul and I wrote "I Still Love You" the first time we got together. First time. But that was my song. I brought that to him. Well, actually, I didn't bring it to him. It was born right there. And then I think he came up with the chorus. But it all just happened, you know? Just like a door opened and wow, here it is, you know? If you have other songs, I could give you kind of how they happened.
Yeah, well, we first applaud you for that great music for Creatures and Lick It Up. And but like, what about Unholy?
Gene said I got an idea. It's called. He starts giving me these. You're down on all fours, bitch. No. I said no. So I said no. I said, wait, you don't like it? I said, no. I said, first of all, no. I said, I think it's terrible. If I think it's terrible, somebody else is going to think it's terrible. I said, first of all, it sounds like AC/DC. Second of all, the word unholy doesn't go with, get on all fours, bitch, so I can fuck your brains out. So I said, no, he's not going to buy that. So it started to develop, and I said, I think we better, it's a song's about, if you want to call it unholy, yeah. I said, well, you got a whole lot to pick from here, It's a whole world of that, awful pain. So let's write about everything in life, that all the events that happened that were, unholy, So where do you want to start, Start with the crucifixion, start with this or that or this. I said, it's all there. I was writing books. I still have them. Just binder after binder of all these lyrics for that song. And then it started developing into, some real musical, masterpiece. And I think by the time it came out, it was that. It turned into like one of the best songs Kiss ever did, And I was with them. I was working with them for an entire year, from all of 91. It was 90, 91. And we had met up again in A&M recording studios. And so, we're going to do another record. You want to write? I said, yeah, sure, great. Started writing. By the time we were writing for 7 months, and the recording process took place. And so I was on call 24 hours a day. And it's like 3 a.m. Hey, can you come down to the studio? All right. So, this was how it was. And then Eric died in the midst of all of that. So it was tough, but the record was a good one. It was good. Yeah. That was a good record. I took that. That was mine that I said, So that was born pretty quick. And I remember I had the middle part with just, or whatever that was, So just some of the ways I remember them. Lick It Up, I brought that. That was mine. I said, what do you think of this? I remember bringing it to Paul first. I said, isn't that great? Isn't that fucking great? He goes, what? I said, that's great. That's a hit song. So I saw her and so I said, I'm not going to give up on this. So I took it over to Gene. I said, I got a hit song here. I said, we need a hit song. I got one. I wanna wait till you know me better. He says, man, that's a hit song. I said, yeah. He says, did you play it for Paul? I said, yeah. He says, go play it for him again. So next time I said, that's a day later, I go, oh, yeah, I got a hit song. What do you think? I wanna wait till... Like it never, like the first time never happened. Like this is brand new. I wanna wait till you know me. Wow, that's great. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, I told you. Well, did you play that for me before? I said, yeah, a couple days ago. So you didn't like it? Oh, it's great. All right, yeah.
That stuff typically happens like, a studio like this, where you're all just sitting around your living rooms doing these writings.
Gene and I wrote I Love It Loud in Diana Ross's house. You know who Diana Ross, right? We wrote it in her, she had this it was like a cavern. Her living room was like the size of this whole building, and it had this incredible echo. Just in a, you know, it was like the most natural echo chamber I've ever heard. And we were in there just you know, I would meet him there every day, and that's where that song was born. Was in her house.
So
you know, it's funny. When my kids were toddlers. This is funny. This is a real funny memory I have. My kids were toddlers, and it was like 3-year-old, not even. And so she had a July 4th picnic. So she says she lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. You know, monster home. So she says, "Come meet me over there. You know, we're gonna have a July 4th picnic." And I said, "Okay, great." So she was a really, really sweet lady, really, really sweet. So my kids started pooping in their diapers, and she's changing their diapers. I said, this is too great, you know. And she says, "I'll get him, I'll take care of him." I said, "Wow, that's nice, you know." So all these little things I remember. But next.
Yes. I was wondering about that period with Eric Carr. I know that you guys were the Italians of the group, from my understanding. But how was the Eric Carr situation with the other members of the group? Was he complaining about a bit about them, or being like a salary or something? Because
they paid Eric a lot of money when I joined the band. He was making a lot of money.
Was a good time when you.
I was making nothing. I couldn't even afford to buy a car. But they paid Eric a lot of money. But
was not upset with them. Was not upset with them when
not when I joined. He took being in KISS. He took it very serious. You know, he was very proud to be a member. You know, I said, "Okay, I'm going to go to the studio." So I said, "Okay, I just recorded Boys Are Gonna Rock, Shoot You Full of Love, No Substitute, Animal, and Twisted." So I had 5 songs. I said, "Man, this is going to be one hell of a KISS album." So I didn't know where I was going to go. I mean, I had no clue. I was, you know, metaphorically, I was in the middle of an ocean, you know, with a little rubber life raft. And I'm thinking, how am I going to survive any of this anymore? So whatever little money I had, I finished the demos, and somebody said, "You need to hear this singer named Robert Fleischman." So I heard we got together, and that was amazing. It was like, I remember calling him. I said, "You know, somebody said we need to get together." So he says, "Come on over." You know, it's really nice. And I just show up, and that was a glam time, so I got all my makeup on. And he's looking at me like, wow. Give me those looks, you know. And I said, "So Rob, let me hear the tapes, you know." I said, "I hear you're a great singer." So he puts his tapes on it, and they were so professional. It sounded like a record, you know. And I said, my tapes sound like crap, you know. I said, because I never had any money to record anything. So I said, these are just kind of like home cheesy, you know, demos. But he said, "Wow, the songs are great though." I said, "Are you interested in getting together?" He said, "Yeah." So I said, oh, this was in 1981. I'm sorry. I met Rob early in 81. Then I joined KISS. So when I got back together with Rob in 1984, I remember I said, "Come on down now, since I'm out of KISS." I said, "So can you come and do these demos with me?" And that was it. He came in, and I said, "My God, I never heard anything like this in my life." So those songs were born in '84, but they were originally supposed to go to KISS. So I think they missed out. You know?
For sure.
But I think they missed out on having a band that had amazing chemistry that could have, you know, I don't want to say conquered the music business, but it could have been, we could have had album after album after album after album of great music, stuff that set trends, stuff that really transcended just, comic book kind of songs, But that was the thing that I regret the most, because we had amazing chemistry. So, I have my own regrets about that. Because my regrets were like, how do you let somebody like me go? How do you do that? I mean, how do you just think that, you wouldn't want to make that work? If it was me, I'd do anything to hold on to an employee that was, making it right for my business,
That's right.
I would do anything to keep them. You want a raise? How much? You want a piece? How much? You want a slice? How many slices do you want? You want to flip the cheese? You want it with sausage, peppers, what? Anything. But I would have made it work, So those were my regrets in all of this. Because good chemistry, that magic you can't find. That you just can't get 2 or 3 people, 4 people together, and boy, you're going, whoa, we're doing something. What is happening here? That's chemistry. That doesn't, like I said, look at this thing. Oh my God. I'm gonna stare at this all night. I'm gonna get home at midnight, 1 o'clock, and I'm gonna be looking at this. Ouch! I can't look at it. Ouch. So yes. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Vincent.
Vincent.
You should remember that.
I'm going to try to remember that, yeah.
One is more of a statement and a question on Back on the Streets.
Are you filming this, by the way?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. Back on the Streets. I remember the first time I heard it, and I heard the intro vocal, and I was like, okay, this is not the lead singer.
Back on the Streets. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so you sang the first couple lines, or the first 4 lines on the song, and it left me wanting to hear more of you sing. So I'm just wondering, this is the first part of the question, how come you didn't sing more? And secondly, did Paul Stanley ever do a demo version of Back on the Streets?
Your first question was for what, Vinnie, Vincent Invasion, when you heard that one?
Yes, you're the recorder of the first album.
Well, it's funny. It was that song of Vinnie Vincent Invasion didn't come out right. That was my big regret on that record, that didn't come out the way it should have come out. Because first of all, it should have had keyboards. That was a keyboard song. In the verses.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of that record was no keyboards. Which was stupid. Because I write keyboard kind of songs, because they're all lush and, very orchestral, and I love chords. So it was stupid not to have a keyboard on there. So that was where that went wrong. And Rob couldn't get the feel of the verse. So I said, well, I'll sing the verse, you just sing it, take it up from there. That's how that happened. That's why that happened. So I was thinking of singing the whole song, but then it was singing, well, all of a sudden Vinny's singing a song here, the whole record is and then all of a sudden I'm singing a song with a different voice. So it didn't make sense, so we put it together that way, But, he's untouchable as far as the singer goes, I never heard anybody sing like that. And we did the fourth, was really All System Go, the second album, and the third album was Guitar Mageddon, and that's where he came in.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Victor.
Can you see me? Victor! Oh my God, look at Victor. How are you, my friend? Oh, hey, you want to come over? Come on over.
Hop, skip, and a jump. Victor Valashik. He does it on Facebook.
Can you say that again?
Oh, yes. I had a lot of questions, but it was difficult to choose I fan from them. Since I'm very worried, but I will to question Vinnie. Do you have an audio recording from your first school band, a younger generation, but hunter groups? You, David, and Walter are used?
He's asking about your high school band.
What was the question about the younger generation that you wanted to know?
Yes, yes.
What did you want?
Audio recording the same?
Did I record with them? Are you asking me if I recorded with my band, the younger generation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me answer that. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, Vic. This is for Victor. My dad took my band, the younger generation, into Mike Piorik's recording studio in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and we had to have a demo. So I still have these recordings, and we were like 14, 15 years old, and my dad paid for this recording session, and we recorded all the popular songs of 1966. So yes, yeah, we recorded. Yeah, we did. So you want to come down, Victor? You going to come to the party here? You're in Russia, right? You could be here by tomorrow. You could be here, right?
Yeah.
We'll be out. We'll be gone, but we'll be here. What was that? Oh yeah, let me see everything.
Victor! Victor!
Victor, what's up, brother?
We love you, man.
Hi, Victor.
We love you, Victor. Stay at my house when you come here.
Vinnie Vincent forever, Victor.
You want to take a break, guys? Everybody, you got any more questions? Do you want to take a break? Clayton?
Yeah, I actually was thinking about the same question. He asked, what's your version of that song that Paul Stanley did vocals for? Back on the Street?
We did a version. We did a whole recording. It was it was during the Creatures recording sessions. So we recorded that. I don't have a copy of it, but it's in the can. It's somewhere. But it came out good. Paul sang it great. Sang it really great. I liked it very much. There was no keyboards on it. See? But it had the big drum sounds. It really should have been on the Creatures album. It was a real perfect match for that. It was in the I Still Love You vein, But I remember hearing it and I said, it's great, I love it, But Paul sang it great. Yeah.
Well, I have to admit that your version and the one from the first album are still my favorites. So
Really?
I've heard them all and they just don't compare.
Yeah, you have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, you guys would thank you.
Like velvet.
It's not so good today, but I've been suffering. I got this sinus problem for the past couple of years. So it's caused I get this gook is stuck on in my throat. So I can never clear it out to sing. So I can sing like low, but I can't sing my high notes anymore. And because it's like this mucus is like settled there. And I saw my doctor. I've seen 3 doctors. Try this. So that's what's working.
Neti pot.
What is
it?
that?
Neti pot.
What?
The neti pot.
Neti pot?
Yeah, I'll tell you about later.
That was. Wait a minute. Hold on. My doctor just 2 weeks ago said try that.
Yeah, it's good. It works for me.
It works for you. Okay, I'm gonna try it. So maybe next time you see me, I can see. Have they asked me? No, they haven't asked me.
Dr. McGee brought
What would
you
your
up,
answer
though.
be if they did?
Huh?
Dr. McGee actually brought you up on the boat saying
Well, this is sensible that he
that's a
would.
possibility. That's what blew my mind that he actually
Well, what do you think? What do you guys think?
What would your answer be if they did?
Well, what's your answer? Your answer is not my answer. My answer is not your answer. Your answer is more important than my answer. Huh?
I'll give you an answer.
What?
If they ask you, you negotiate, right?
Yeah.
On top of all the negotiations and your money and everything, say, I need a super box.
Yes, yes,
And then on top of that, we'll promise on keep on coming back.
Yes.
For your birthday bash.
What'd you say, super box?
Yeah.
What's a super box?
The super fans.
Just a box in the ring.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense.
We'll be your support.
That makes sense. Hey, Garrett. Good to see you. I like the jacket. That caught my eye. I couldn't miss that one. You look sharp. You look very sharp. Wow. So what's your answer? I'm going to go back to that. Do you want to see that?
Yeah.
You actually would like to see that?
Yeah. Well, you saved them for God's sake, right?
Do you think it would? You think that fans would like that? All
There's no coincidence that the best hit songs ever are all songs you wrote. Yeah, without a doubt.
You wrote her name.
Everybody knows it.
Well, I will say this though. We live we were good. We were really good. That's something that I would really stand behind. We were a great band live. So yeah.
Did you ever have a connection with them?
I never met him. Never met him.
It'd be like Sammy Hagar and Jiggly Ross together.
Yeah, but Sammy Hagar.
I don't understand all these feuds that these rock guys have. That doesn't make sense to me. It's just too much fun to have. So.
Guitar question.
Yes.
Since you sold the black homemade guitar.
Yeah, my Eddie guitar.
I wanted that. How about that? What type of guitar was that burgundy one that had different necks? Was it a 48th Street Guitar Man?
Which one was that?
You played them on the Creatures of the Night tour. There's a burgundy guitar, white pickguard.
Burgundy.
At least it looked burgundy in the photo.
Was it a strap line?
Red. Yeah, red.
It was
strap
red.
line.
It was red.
Okay.
Yeah, my friends on 48th Street. My really good friend Richie.
Did it say 48th Street on the?
No, it was an ESP strap, and the reason I played that was because I couldn't find a guitar that would stay in tune.
Yeah.
And Jackson made Jackson made me these shark fins like back there, and they wouldn't stay in tune. I had to send them back. They had the Floyd Rose, they just wouldn't stay in tune, and I was getting a lot of heat. We better make sure that goddamn guitar stays in tune. You're ruining the show. So I called Richie. I said, I need something real quick. Can you save me? Just send me a guitar that stays in tune. And he sent me that overnight. And I used that for a while until the shark fins were ready.
What did it say on the headstock?
ESP.
ESP is it?
Yep.
Wow, it didn't look like that.
No, that's what it was. It was an ESP strap.
Is there any truth to Brad Gillis' guitar tech, who is now Tommy Thayer's guitar tech, helping you get those things into him? Because he did a recent interview where he said he was part of helping.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
I forget his name right now.
Oh.
Kind of a cocky guy, but he knows
stuff. That sounds really familiar. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And is that like where, for instance, like Brad Gillis and stuff like that, where you guys toured together a little bit? Where you were using the Mason Boogie stuff for a little bit?
Yep.
So is that crossover?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. And I remember he was saying, I like this Mesa Boogie. And I remember saying, I hate these Marshall heads. So he said, why don't you try the Mesa Boogie head? So next day we brought one down there, and I loved it. I loved it. It was like, whoa, this thing is huge. It was big, Had all my mid-range that I loved, all that dark sound. So I used that from then on. So finally gave me sound I really wanted live,
Ask
So-
a bunch of those questions.
What's that? What's that?
No, I won't.
No, go ahead. What?
Oh God, well, I wanted to know about the Guitar Man, and then also just like the
Guitar Man? What guitar?
Oh, I'm sorry, the 48th Street Guitar.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Like in your use of the Floyd without the fine tuners on it, and
They're a pain in the ass because you can never get them to stay in tune.
So,
I always have to unlock them to tune them, but I don't like the feeling of the ones that the tuners.
well, they made it.
I know
Back
they
then,
make
they made the ones that went straight up, and then
Yeah.
after a while they angled.
They
it
angled
over.
back,
Yeah.
and those are actually doable. I can suffer through with those. Matter of fact, I might change over because it's just too much to keep unlocking them. And I'm like, why am I fighting progress? You know? Hey, you made it! Hi.
Oh, wow.
Well, help yourself, my friends.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, take a seat.
All right.
So what else? What other guitar questions you want?
Like a lot of your pedal board choices and stuff like that. I noticed like for instance how you're talking about making your own guitars and stuff out of the cheaper Charvel parts. Not cheaper, but you know, you're not going out and you're
Well, I couldn't
customizing
afford
it. You're going out and customizing it yourself.
Yeah.
And you're using like some of the pedals here where you know I wouldn't say lower line, but it's just like there's other boutique choices that.
The cheaper the pedal, the better it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honest to God, it's just they're simple, you know. They're very simple, and always this high tech stuff. I've never found it to give me what I want. So, but I combine a lot of stuff. This is a Frankenstein setup, you know, and everything I got is all Frankenstein. Nothing makes sense, you know.
Do you sit there and tweak a lot at home? Or?
Oh, guys, that's all it is. It's just, then it's this dial and this a little bit of that. So you know, I got it. You know.
And like as far as like the, I don't know how to say the attenuators.
Attenuators, yeah. Those change the voltage of the amp, so it warms it up and they got fuzzy, and you know it's not stuff you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. You can cook the amp or whatever.
Cook the amp, yeah, but you know it's worth it.
How many have you cooked?
Right. It all works. Trust me, it all works. If you're lucky, you can go cook too many, you know.
And one last one, for a while anyway. Can you talk about the Chet Atkins thing and how did you cold call him up and just call his office? And give me some more of that, please.
I cold called him.
You cold called him and then he invites you to a jam.
I cold called Chet Atkins. This is 1995 and 1994, 95. No, it's 95. And I moved here. You know, I was here a couple of years. And I said, boy, you know, I want to talk to Chet Atkins. I wonder if I can beat him. So I don't remember how I got his number, but I called. And his secretary answered, and I said, you know the story, you heard it, right?
Yeah. Well, you shared it. You showed the photo years ago.
I did, right?
Yeah.
But I cold called him, and it was amazing. He got right on the phone, and I can't remember his secretary's name, young girl, and I said, my name is Vinnie Vincent. I'm from Rock Band. Chet is my hero. And I just want to say hello. She said, can you hold on a second? I said, yeah, I can hold on. So I go, wow, hold on a second. I thought you had another call coming on. And here's my hero, my God. You know, hello, Vinny. I go, yes. He said, this is Chet Atkins. I said, oh, God. Man, I'm talking to my hero. I can't believe it. So he says, how are you? I said, oh, I'm really good. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to call and say hi. He said, are you doing anything right now? I said, no. He said, well, we're jamming. Come on down to the house. I said, jeez, man. I was like, shoot. Man, I was like a rocket ship, man. I was there in like 3 seconds, you know.
Anybody a part of the jam noteworthy?
Oh, man. Did I ever tell you this? I didn't tell you this story. So I drive down to his house. They're down Music Row, because that's where his house was down here. And I was in Brentwood. And I said, I'll be there in like 10 minutes, you know. And I was like out the door, you know. And I got there. And come on, just go upstairs. They're jamming upstairs. I went downstairs. I said, hi guys. He said, pick up a guitar. All right, you know. So spent a couple of hours, and he says, you know, come on, just give me a call. Let's go out to lunch tomorrow. I'd like to take you out to lunch. I said, really? He says, yeah, but before you go, can you do me a favor? I said, what? He said, I see my wall Polaroids over here? I said, yeah. He says, well, I always have everybody take a Polaroid with me who comes over. So he said, would you mind taking a Polaroid? I said, for me? He said, no. So he has it all set up, and, you know, smiling together. And he says, oh, that's really great. And he takes it and he says, can you sign it, Vinnie? I said, get the hell out of here. I can't sign your picture. I said, could you take one for me? I said, if I sign one for you, could you sign one for me? He said, sure. I still have mine at home, my Polaroid. So he put it right on his wall. He says, let me put it on my wall right now. I said, yeah, this is too much. So for me, I mean, this was my hero since I was a little kid. It's like this high. And Chet Atkins was like, oh, wow. Was that a great story? So should we take a break?
Yes.
Did everybody eat?
Hey, Vinnie, one thing. Did you ever hear the Chester and Lester record?
Oh God, yeah, that was my Bible for a couple of years. Oh yeah, I digested that one. Yeah, I ate the whole thing.
I ate all the eating.
That was a tough one to, you know, move past through. What happened? What was that? Were you gonna say something?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I joke. I said I ate all the eating.
Who got the guitarist here? Who's the lucky people? Raj, you got a guitar? Okay, I know we got some lucky people who got these guitars. Where's Steve? Is Steve still here? Let me put this down. Is Steve still here?
He was in the back a minute ago.
What's that?
He was back there a minute ago. Oh, there he is.
Well, let's see. What do you want to do, my friend?
Oh, you're the boss.
I'm the boss?
I'm the boss.
It's fun being a boss.
What do you need, sir?
Well, you guys want guitar? Bring me up a gold one. I gotta show you these guitars. These are gorgeous. Yeah, that would be good. Actually, okay, so I have to be Santa Claus this year.
Yes, plug it in.
So, what do you think of this, guys? This is a replica, you know, of my preacher's store, my preacher's one. Same gold color. I hated the gold because it was greenish gold. And I kept telling Grover, please make me a gold guitar. And he says, how's this? I said, it looks green. so, but now that's the guitar. That's the gold. It's the greenish gold. But so to make the identical gold, it's almost greenish.
With the speckles in it, though, too.
Oh yeah, it was always a metal plate.
Yeah.
So where's Steve? Is he here? So since it's Christmas, can we turn the lights down a little bit? Being Santa as I am presenting this to you, my friend. So this is Merry Christmas from Santa Vinnie to my good friend Steve.
Yeah!
first part of it.
There you go.
Deserve it, you deserve it.
Right? This guy is
Minister, you deserve it, Steve. Oh, yeah.
That's great. Okay, there you go. Santa Vinnie strikes again.
Santa Vinnie, I love it.
So,
The cutest Santa ever.
oh, thank you. So, karaoke. Karaoke time.
I don't know. Can I try?
Yeah?
Oh, wait, we're staying. David,
I cannot stop. This makes my heart go crazy.
Alistair, what can you really say about his? Link it up, maybe?
No
You might be able
Yeah,
to do
we're gonna
that
do
time
some.
of year,
We're gonna do
you know.
signings. You guys eat. We're gonna take a food break. We'll do some signings and then we'll do karaoke. All right.
There you have it, my exclusive video from Vinnie Vincent's Christmas party held in Nashville, 2019. I really hope you enjoyed it. All of the musical content was cut out per Vinnie Vincent's request. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn, and also follow my Facebook page, The Rock and Roll Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. Plus, there's more exclusive content that can be found on my Facebook page. Thanks, everybody.